God, we're going to put 5 bikes out there. Those represent limited space maneuver. If you took the basic MSF course, that was the space that you had to do a figure 8 in. We are now putting 5, count them, 5 ultra classics out at the same time. In 1995, Bruce Rossmeyer came to the drill team and asked us, who said we can't do a drill during bike week? 5 years ago, Bruce Rossmeyer came to us and asked us if we could put on a skills demonstration and help promote motorcycle safety. Now the drill team, despite all the practice that we do, we still take an experienced rider course every 3 years. Please tell our vendors. We use them too. If you look at Trudy's bike, she's got a horn on there from ProPad, the Mini Beast air horn, and she just had HeliBars put on that bike. So that's another reason she wanted to go out and play, because she just changed her handlebars. That's a wheel to wheel. Lucky. This is the first time in 9 days that we put 5 bikes out there. And I want you to notice something. Everybody's smiling. Nobody is stressed out. Who's going to be left out there to do this demonstration for me, guys? All right, we're going to have Steve and Trudy out there. All right, Dan's going to park it. All right, we're going to have husband and wife out here. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, you could be witnessing a domestic. That guy out there on the blue and silver bike, he's the oldest member of the drill team. We call him Chief because he's a retired Navy chief. Okay, if you took the Motorcycle Safety Foundation's course, the very first thing they did with you is they had you use the friction zone. Well, when we get somebody new on the drill team, we do the same thing with a little difference. We want you to get your motorcycle moving strictly off idle by using the clutch. So you're going to see Steve and Trudy start to ease their clutch into the friction zone, take a couple of steps, and start to move their motorcycle without giving it any throttle at all. If you want to join the drill team, you got to come out here on a Friday night at 6:30, and this is one of the things we're going to make you do. Now, once we know you have that ability, we're going to ask you to add a little bit of throttle. After you add some throttle, we're going to ask you to start using your rear brake and then turn your head. These 2 motorcycles they're on are 2011s. Factory says they take over 20 feet to turn around. Those cones are 20 feet apart. They're turning them around at 18. Steve's actually done it in about 17. Okay. Anybody can scrape. Anybody can scrape. Try doing this. Now you notice they were going left all the time. Now they're going right. Right turns are a lot harder. And the reason right turns are harder is when you're doing it, the clutch is away from you. And that's actually what Trudy's working on right now. She put new handlebars on from HeliBars that are fully adjustable. So she's working on the adjustment for right now, so they'll be perfect for doing these performances. But in order to do this, what you've got to do to go right, you've got to lean forward in the seat, just like a motorman does. Trudy's going right and left. Steve's going to go out there and join her. He's going to cut inside of her. By the way, we're not stunt riders. We are merely street riders just like you. The only difference is we practice every Friday night, except during bike week, right here. Come by at 6:30, you're welcome to watch. And if we're not getting ready for a show, you can actually join in. All right. Have you ever been on that ride where your leader got lost and your leader does this? What happens? You've got most of your people make a nice U-turn on a 2-lane road, but you always have that person. I'm not getting in the middle of your domestic. I could go home and get in a fight. I just got to say something off color to my wife. All right. What you have to do, or what you see, is that person on a run who goes to make that U-turn, and they look at the end of the road. They don't turn their head. They don't know how to use the clutch. They wind up duck walking. They look kind of silly, and with their head facing the end of the road, they get to the end of the road and they stop short. And then what happens? They got to push the bike back, or somebody's got to come along and help them move that motorcycle back.
Check.
And then they're even worse. At this point, they're nervous because you're watching them. So what do? They give it too much throttle. They stamp the brake. They duck walk. And you usually tell them to get in the back of the line at that point because you don't want them riding in front of you. All you have to do is just what you saw Steve and Trudy do. Clutch, throttle, rear brake, and head turn. And you too can turn your bike around. By the way, if you want to practice this, go to a parking lot. 2 parking spaces side by side, 2 parking spaces end to end, gives you a 20 by 40 box. So you can't make it inside the box the first time. Who cares? I assume you're going to do the quick stop? All right, where's your grandson? I want you to have a good target.
Yeah, we got a volunteer right here. This is Steve's grandson. He's going to stand right here.
Okay.
And Steve's going to run towards him. I'll stay right behind you, son. No
One
problem.
of the many questions we get is, how do you do a panic stop? Well, we don't call it a panic stop. We call it a quick stop. Now, I got a couple of you old-timers out here, like me with the gray beard, have told me that, well, I never used my front brake. I had a friend that had a panhead and went over his handlebars. Wives' tale. Doesn't happen. I got my young guys out here from the sport bikes. They tell me my front brake is so strong I can lift the rear wheel in the air. How much help is that wheel giving you when it's in the air? You got it. You get 70% of your stopping power from the front brakes, so you have to learn to use both brakes simultaneously without locking either wheel. Steve's going to head towards his grandson at 20-25 miles an hour, and he's going to stop that motorcycle. Thank you very much, son.
Very smart, girl.
How do you do that? You practice it. The same parking lot with those parking spaces, you're going to go out there. You're going to practice it at 20 miles an hour. You're going to practice it at 30 miles an hour. In fact, you're even going to practice it with the person you ride the most on. You've got to learn it on your motorcycle. You ever stop short on your bike and you and your passenger hit helmets? Yeah, because you've never practiced it. Try it. Now,